Right, Chiwetel, Florence, thank you so much for meeting with me today. Congratulations on such a great film. I enjoyed it so much when I saw it on Friday. And I kind of wanted to ask you, how does it feel seeing it and having it out into the world after what I'm sure has been a lot of silence around it?
I'm relieved. No, just because we had to keep so much to ourselves. And you know what? It will still take another week until everybody gets to see it. But I'm so looking forward to speaking with children or with anyone who is interested in The Lion King, just to see, like, or to hear what they think about it. What do you like about the changes? What was fresh? What did you not like? I mean, everybody has different tastes, but it's just such a nice story, and I'm ready for the world to see it.
Mm. And you, Chiwetel?
Yeah, I feel exactly the same. Very excited about people checking it out, and relieved that it's sort of finally getting to that point where it's out there. And I only saw it myself last week for the first time, in its completed form, and I was just amazed by it. I just think that it's sort of visually, it's like nothing else that has ever been made or attempted, and that is wonderful to be part of that. And I think from the wonderful original sort of bass line that we had, that there's elements that have kind of grown and changed, and over the kind of 25-year interim period, I think we've all sort of learned so much, about our world and our dynamics that some of that is in there as well. And I think all of that is incredibly rich and satisfying.
I want to know, what were your relationships with The Lion King before you guys got involved with this new remake?
I remember the movie came out in 94. I was 18. I didn't see it back then. I saw it a few years later. Mm-hmm. I went to musical theater school, and in 99, I saw the musical for the first time. And I remember I didn't have so much money, so I had to buy myself a ticket where I could stand in the theater. They still had like standing tickets. And yeah, that's when The Lion King came into my life. And that's when I realized, wow, that's an interesting story. And then later, when I got ready to do The Lion King, I played Shenzi also in the musical. I, of course, watched the movie 100 times just to know who are the hyenas, how do they fit into the story. And I remember it being a beautiful, colorful movie. I loved the music, and yeah.
Chiwetel, what was your reaction when you got the confirmed news that you were going to be Scar in The Lion King?
I was just really excited, I was really thrilled. It was a great conversation to have, and as soon as I was kind of aware of it as a conversation, I was just like, this is really, really thrilling. I loved the original. I was around the same age. I was 17 when it came out, and even though I thought, and I have thought for years, that I was like 5, but I wasn't. I was 17 but it made me feel like I was 5, and it made me feel like I loved the storytelling, and I loved the vibrancy of it, and I loved the sort of the music and all of it, and the essence of it, and the fact that it was, set on the continent, set in Africa. There was so little content back then that was set in Africa that had any connection to Africa, and so that made it a really big deal in my house and in my family, and so I was really excited about it, all aspects of it, and it really lived up to that. So to be able to sort of dive into that again and to be part of it, now is really wonderful.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because obviously The Lion King isn't dealing with humans, it's dealing with animals, but it's something that's set in Africa, and, being of African descent, I was wondering what that did kind of feel like, being a part of this really massive remake.
I think I'm still processing it. I know that this has been in my life now for a long time, but the movie's coming out now, and of course we have more time to speak about it. So I'm processing everything. Yes, I was born in Africa and I grew up in Germany, but there are a few things like, when the movie starts and we listen to the music, there's just something that feels like home. I can't explain it, but it just happens. It's an African story, yeah.
Yeah, that's lovely. I wanted to talk about Be Prepared because that's the major song for Scar and the Hyenas. And in this version, it's a much kind of like darker and less jazzier. I was wondering how that came about.
Well, that was the sort of the arrangement that was organised, that I came into, and I loved it. When I first heard it, I just thought that this is great. It just fits so well with everything that I was thinking about in terms of this character in this version, and just that sense of being that the realism of his psychology, that this person, this animal, this lion being very just sort of twisted in this psychological torture that he's sort of in, and that Scar has placed himself in, and this kind of broken borderline insanity that he's dealing with in order to push himself, to perform these acts, and the hyenas sort of really egging that on as well, and that sense of them all kind of aligning in order to do these dastardly deeds.
Watch this.
You'll get it, Simba. Just takes time. I'll check on you later.
Dad will be so proud, won't he?
It's a gift he'll never forget.
And Florence, seeing as you have played Shenzi before, I was wondering what it's like, coming from playing it in the stage version and then playing it in the film version. What were the differences?
The difference is that Shenzi on stage was so much lighter and she had so much fun. I remember every time I would play, I would be happy after the performance because I just had so much fun with the other hyenas. We just enjoyed life on stage. We had fun, we had no stress. And even the tasks that we were given, like maybe killing the cubs, didn't really work out because we were not smart enough to get it. But in this version, it's so different. The physicality I had in the black box because I was able to work on my first day and work with colleagues on this. So it was not like just being in the studio and being alone. We were able to be like on stage and walk around each other and actually act with each other. That was a nice experience, and I was happy that I was able to play it on stage because that just came to me straight away. I don't have to think about it. But then when you come into the studio, everything becomes different. Everything is a little smaller, but you still have to be on point. But by that time, you have it so in your body that it just comes out, and that was a nice experience again. But to be Shenzi or to play Shenzi is very stressful because she's not an easy or chilled character. And after the performance, I'm not as light or happy like I was on stage, just because they just harm the other characters, and that feels different when you then observe yourself afterwards.
Right.
Yeah.
Just before we finish then, we wanted to see how much, as you are Scar and Shenzi in the film, how much you know about the Lion King universe. So we have a couple of questions just to see who will know. I think this one will be quite easy. First one to jump in gets it. In which year did the original Lion King come out? 94? That was you, Florence. Complete the song lyric. I'm going to be the main event like no king was before.
I don't know what the lyrics are. Different character. I'm gonna be in here. But who says the next line? Not Simba.
It is Simba.
I don't know.
I'm brushing up on looking down. I'm working on my...
Really?
Yeah, there we go.
I get it.
And also, how long do lions survive in the wild? We've got 3 options for you.
Oh, good, a multiple choice.
Yeah, so multiple choice, don't worry.
33%.
You've got 10 to 14 years, 14 to 18 years, or 18 to 20 years.
I'd say 10 to 14.
Correct.
Ah, there we
That
go.
is how long they survive in the wild.
Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Good
It
guess.
was a guess, yeah.
How much meat does a female lion require every day? 5 kilograms, 8 kilograms, or 12 kilograms?
I have no idea.
Let's go for 12.
She only needs 5 kilograms of meat a day.
Yeah.
And finally, a hyena-based questions for you. What is the top speed of a hyena? 55 kilometers an hour, 65 kilometers an hour, or 75 kilometers an hour?
75 kilometers an hour for a hyena. And if it says anything else on your paper, that paper's wrong.
Wow, I guess it's wrong because it says it's 65 miles an hour. So the more you
I
know.
have no idea. These were good questions.
Thank you. I'm glad. Well, thank you so much for meeting with me, and I hope you had fun. I did too.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
Thank you.